Oh,
Joining me in the Room podcast this Wednesday night is Chris and Pat Shahgholi. Did I say that right, gentlemen?
you got it.
I nailed it. I've been practicing all day, man, on that, man. So, I mean, I've heard your name quite a few. I've been at a few tournaments in New England, and I didn't shut my sound off here, but we do have sound. Just to let you know, guys, can you see that? That's you. You're live.
Hey.
I love when a plan comes together. So anyway, guys, I know your name just by seeing you at the Enigma tournaments, getting to know you there. Welcome to the Room podcast for the first time, gentlemen. Glad to have father and son on.
Pleasure to be here. It looks nice in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, I mean, if you didn't live too far, it's a really nice, cozy spot. I got like 3 seats on the other side of the desk. I mean, maybe next time you guys... Well, you're going to be coming down again soon, Chris, so maybe you guys can come and hang in here, a couple hours before the event. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Guys, happy holidays and welcome to the Room podcast.
Happy holidays to you, too.
Thank you for having us.
So you just trained, had 7 to 8 class. Is this a class that you instructed, Chris, or was this just a whole rolling kind of free-for-all tonight?
So, actually, we had a little closed session with one of our members, Brian Kelleher. He's, I don't know if you know Brian, but he has a fight coming up in January. So we did a session with all the coaches and him, just game planning for his fight. And then we went into fundamentals. Actually, Dylan teaches that. You remember Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah, he teaches fundamentals during the week.
Dylan Garofalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I practiced that today too, folks. Where's my camera? I never look. I'm looking at the wrong cameras all the time. So, Chris, you're an instructor there, correct?
Yeah.
How long have you been working or just been rolling at 10th Planet in Long Island?
So I started as a student maybe 3-4 years ago, and I've been instructing since last October.
And is that when you first started jiu-jitsu too, when you walked into those doors?
No, so I started at 10th Planet when I was getting ready for EBI. This was EBI 17. It was the first EBI that had combat in. So I was actually at another gym, and I wanted to add in some cross-training sessions, and I went to 10th Planet. And then when I got back from EBI, I made the decision to join 10th Planet just because when I was in San Diego for EBI, I just saw all the other 10th Planets and the camaraderie they had and how much they supported each other. And I was just like, you know what, looks like it's something that's helping people reach that high level. And I made the choice to switch to 10th Planet.
Excellent. As far as jiu-jitsu in general, how many years has it been?
Almost 9 since
All right.
2014, yeah.
All right. And your son is how old? How old are you, Pat? 15, 16? You 16 yet?
15. I turn 16 next year.
So, I mean, when you started rolling, Chris, were you athletic, football, anything as far as a kid growing up?
So I was in a gym weightlifting, trying to lose weight. And one morning after doing treadmill, I go to leave the gym and some MMA fighters tell me about the program they're starting. It was Extreme Couture MMA. So Randy Couture had affiliations throughout the nation. And I was like, man, I'm just looking to lose weight. I'm not really like into MMA. Then he was like, listen, it's $18 more a month and you get the whole program. And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll try it. And I saw submission wrestling on the schedule. And I had wanted to wrestle in high school, but they removed the program. So I went to try that out, thinking it was wrestling and it was jiu-jitsu. And I dropped weights and cardio, and then I just started doing jiu-jitsu, lost more weight a lot quicker, and never stopped.
Yeah, I mean, you had it all in one. You didn't have to weightlift. You got everything in just that first day. You felt the best, the best gains of your life, right? All the pain everywhere. I'm old now. You're probably, I wouldn't say right behind me, but you're a dad of, a 15-year-old there. So I rolled, I did it for like a couple of years, on and off, but every week it would be, a new pain, a good pain though, because I knew I worked, right. But there'd be a couple of times when I got folded up like an accordion and my body wasn't ready for that. But it gets your body ready for the next time, because the next time when it happened, I already, them muscle or whatever had already felt that trauma or that pressure. So, you get used to it, man. But I can't imagine 9 years rolling and having that all the time. I mean, well, now you're doing it to other people,
I'll be honest. When I stopped training, I started getting old aches and pains. Like you said, different kinds of aches and pains. I had like really bad case of sciatica a couple of years back, and just like Jiu Jitsu and like some certain stretching and recovery that our instructor showed me really helped that out. Like I feel like I train as part of my recovery as well. Like I need to stay active and stay mobile,
Well, we're gonna get to your son here because Chris, when I first met you, it was watching you. I think it was maybe the first Enigma tournament. It might have been the first or second one. Your son wasn't in it, but he was on the sidelines. I had no idea that was your son. I thought it was just a team member. Could have been a cousin. I had no idea that was you were old enough to have a son like that. So I was like, awesome. You put on the show. I remember, Conor Berry. I don't think he had lost a grappling match. I had interviewed him for like 5 years, or I could be exaggerating, but it'd been a while since he lost the jiu-jitsu match, and he was a fan favorite, a friend of Christos, and and then you came in there and you beat him, and then competitive there. You guys got a combat jiu-jitsu fight going. You came back, you won that 2-0, and now you just came back for another one, and you won again. But let's get to this kid because, like I said, I didn't even know you were old enough to have a son. I had no idea this kid was like slaughtering, grown men for a living. You know what I mean? Pat, I had a small interview with you on your last, your last event for Enigma. Dude, how did you and what age did you get into it? And was it just, I mean, you've been in it, not too far from you. How long have you been doing it?
A little bit less than him. I think like 8.5, 9 coming out.
Jesus! Wait a minute. So I'm thinking, oh my God! So you got in it right away with him. My God! I'm thinking Dad's like leaps and bounds ahead and stuff like that. Because we're gonna get into a couple of things as far as you guys in competition and stuff like that. But that's a friggin' amazing. Chris, I mean, how do you keep that bottled up? I mean, it's bad enough my kid can't fight himself out of a paper bag, but I'm still afraid he's going to kick my ass someday because he's just growing and, big. How do you bottle that up and keep that from,
Listen,
what I mean?
He did finishers a couple weeks ago, and he took out a purple belt that was definitely, he was heavier than you.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
And 2 black belts, one of them IBJJF
multiple
time champion. But I'm always going to have that little edge on him and that confidence factor because in the gym, I mean, what was it, Tuesday? I think I passed his guard in like 7 seconds and armbarred him. Like, I really should be telling these black belts in fights, I should take money from them to tell them what to do to beat him.
Well, Chris, I'm gonna get onto Instagram because I think I did copy a video, but I think it's better that I go right to Instagram and look for that. Is that on his page or your page?
Well,
matches.
Yeah, your matches.
My matches are on my page.
I think. Well, I have 10th Planets up right now. Let me just look through that real quick. Let people see it, just so everyone can see and how to get in touch with it. I know I watched a lot of stuff on here. I mean, 10th. Let me just tell you about 10th Planet and how I know about it is just Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
And him when he started his EBI tournaments, I've always been a fan of Eddie Bravo, Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan used to talk about Eddie constantly, and not putting 2 and 2 together, studying Eddie and seeing what he did and shocked kind of the jiu-jitsu community. And then, I mean, he's just he's just a crazy dude. So of course he's going to get people that love him, but what he started, now I'm showing Pat's stuff right here. This is what I'll get to right here. We'll get the dirt on right now since we're talking about you guys at the same level or whatever, or you submitting him. Pat, you two guys didn't you guys fight the same gentleman?
Emil.
Emil, yeah.
Yeah, Emil Fisher.
Now, did you lose against him, Pat, and your son won, or how did that work out?
So I fought Emil back in like 2017, 18. It was a grappling idiots show in Brooklyn. It was their first event, and we were one of the featured cards. I was still a purple belt at the time. Emil was a brown belt, and yeah, we were in 50-50, and he caught me with an Aoki lock which at that time I wasn't even familiar with, and now it's one of my favorite moves. And then Pat fought him at Sogi and took him out.
How many years later?
I would say like 3.
No shit. Like building up to that, building up to that match. What the hell was going on in the gym? It's redemption. It's like fucking my son gets to go in there and, take care of business, man. And oh my God, what was that like?
Well, so this is the funny thing. It was a same day event. So the winners of each bracket got into an absolute. So we didn't know ahead of time that he would even get to fight Emil. But when that match happened, I had to just sit to the side and I made sure to stay away from the timekeeper and the OT counter because I didn't want to be involved at all when they announced the winner. But Pat beat him on ride time. But you could tell him how you felt going into the match because Pat's idea in fighting him is totally different than what I had. Like I was protecting my feet because this is like a big leg locker guy. Pat's idea was a little bit different. So you can explain like why you approach it differently than me.
Well, I think it was the day before he told me like each of them like they were the main event, Emil versus Thiago Santos. Yeah. And they were gonna be in the absolute, and I just told him like if I like win my division, I definitely want to fight Emil. And when I won my division beforehand, I was like, oh, I definitely got that like match now. And, like just like seeing his leg locks, just like I know I have good leg lock defense, and I know he wouldn't catch me. And I didn't expect him to have good leg lock defense as well, so it was just like a more back and forth match. And like as the time like went further, it was like a 10-minute match. I just like came up on top and just focused on like passing and like upper body because I only see like him get submitted with like upper body submissions against like Keith or like at Zapatero. I just saw him like arm bars and like rear naked chokes. So just like game planning for like OT and more like the end of the match. And then I won on ride time with the fastest escape.
What look, I'm a father. It's like my son ever did. Like what went through your mind when that happened, Chris? Like what's going on? Like I mean, there's a lot of he's a kid. I mean, he doesn't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's been at it a long time. But pressure's not like the pressure that was on his opponent. Like, oh my God, I got this. I mean, how old were you then? I mean, was it
me?
Yeah.
He was still 14.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, so there's a video that Pat posted after he wins and they announce him for OT, and it's probably one of my favorite videos because everyone comes up to congratulate him, but he pushes everyone out of the way and comes and gives me a hug. So that was amazing.
Excellent.
I really I know exactly what Pat's capable of. So there's never any I'm never worried about him getting hurt in his matches. I just want him to execute what he's capable of. So my fear comes from him getting stuck in bottom side control or finish on OT ride time. But there's positions that I know that when he's in them, that no one's gonna be harder on him than I am in the gym. That I know he's gonna get out of. I know he's not ever gonna get arm barred in a competition because I try to break his arm off. So I know the spots that he's good in and the spots that he has to work out of really quick. But it was amazing. It was like a movie.
I can imagine, man, and it could be made into one. I mean, you guys are he's just starting. I mean, I'm not in this life, you know what I mean? I see it from the outside. I mean, when I was at, Enigma, you guys are just seeing you guys in action, I didn't know what was going on. And then when I'm just, these guys can snap me in half, in a, that's what I'm around MMA guys all the time. You know what I mean? It's like I said, I feel I can last 10 seconds. They might punch me in the head. I might cry. You guys, I mean, it's just it's instant, jump on a leg or something. So you guys walk into a place, when you came into Enigma, man, you guys are the outsiders coming in. People here at 10th Planet, they're that's a big, I mean, there's a lot of big gyms, but you hear 10th Planet coming in. I mean, I know there's a lot of them and stuff, but there's guys in there that are going to be doing some special things, man. And that day, it was like, I was like afraid to like kind of stand. I mean, Chris, I must say that you made me feel a little more at home, man. You're a very personable guy. And, but I don't know what I didn't know what was in store for him. It's like once, I found out it was your kid, I said, this kid must be rolling. I mean, forget it. It's like, so.
Well, it was funny because Pat finished his match in 90 seconds, and then I finished mine in 59. And I was like, man, I got the quickest sub. And then Dylan goes and finishes in 49. And I'm like, can you let me like at least have a little bit of like time on top?
Hey, dude, I mean, you're passing the torch. What am I gonna say? You know what I mean? And we talked about that in your post-fight interview that it's more stressful coaching and stuff like that, but you're getting more used to it and you're liking that side of the game. Chris, if you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 34. I just turned 34 this past week.
Oh, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
Almost a Christmas, December, baby. That's good things.
Yeah.
I mean, they sucks on presents and shit like that because they combine them and stuff, but, don't let them get away with that shit, man. So, I mean, oh, my God. It's like, dude, as far as, like the whole, that Enigma thing, like, that's what I've been to a couple more. The last one that your son was in before that.
RCS?
Yeah, where you're going to be again competing. When I saw him, I mean, that made me fear him even more. A lot of people, like everyone on your side and a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community know about him. I mean, but when he did here, people really didn't see him roll around here. He wasn't in the Enigma tournament before that, I don't think. I think he was supposed to get into it or a matchup didn't happen. So we really didn't see anything. All of a sudden, I see him roll. And he tears this guy's like kneecap off basically in like, it was so quick. I don't know. And it was like, wow. And then you were a proud dad on, this shit happens. I mean, it's jiu-jitsu, it's tournament jiu-jitsu. Shit happens and it's quick. I mean, but you were on the other side going, man, I'm a proud dad. Like on Instagram, watching it, knowing it happened. I mean, that's what I mean by the fear. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like, you guys come in, they think of it, a challenging grappling. Me as a person looking out, I'm just waiting for bones to snap and shit like that. When you guys are, I mean, that's the kind of the leg lock game, and that's what kind of makes it exciting. You know what I mean?
Well,
as far as me looking from the outside, I don't want to see people get hurt, but to see that happen is like amazing. It's like wow.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's funny at the gym. I would say like myself, Pat, Dylan, our instructor Steve. No one's getting leg locked at our gym because we're so aware of what's going on. So when we come to these places like Enigma and RCS, kind of like out of the tri-state, I feel like we have a little bit of an edge with that leg lock knowledge. Kind of like we get to suck in everything from like Henzo's New York City, like all that kind of stuff. And myself, I started in 2014. 2015 is when Gary, Tonin, Eddie Cummings, and Gordon Ryan really like came onto the scene. So like I had the like advantage of being like, I've been watching those guys since I was a white belt, and coaches have been referring to them since I was like a white belt. So it's like, we really get to unleash our leg locks in competition because in the gym, we don't really get to finish each other with them. So like if you were a boxer, let's say you and Pat trained together every day, and every day you hit him with a right hook and he didn't get knocked out. That's why I'm not scared when he's in like 50-50 in a competition. Like I know he's not going to get caught.
Guy, is he too young to play roll for money? Like when does he get to start taking like can you
No,
roll?
he's good to go. Like you won
I won when I was 13. I won the Patty Ice Challenge.
Tell him about the Patty Ice Challenge.
A couple, I think it was like July.
And get the math right.
Or he'll slap you.
July 12th of 2020, I was 13, and we just like, this was like during quarantine, like COVID, and we just like did like a one-on-one match for money. So
like an open challenge.
Like an open challenge, and anyone puts $500 each. Winner gets 1,000. And I had a fight, and I beat my guy in 3 minutes, and I won $1,000. But half went to him and half went to me because
I put up the 500.
Of course, I mean, you're lucky you got the 500. You should have got 250. He drove you there and everything else. My God. So all right, so dude, I mean, you can make your own living in competition. I mean, but you got a gold mine there. I mean, not that, but this kid can make a living doing jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's 15 years old. I mean,
yeah, that's my goal. My goal is that he doesn't have to spend a day in the regular work field. So I'm trying to I use him a lot when I do my private lessons. That's a big part of my income. So I just look at it like, listen, you could go spend 4 hours at $15 an hour at McDonald's, or you can get one private lesson and charge $80, you know?
Exactly.
And he doesn't have any expenses right now, so hopefully he can build that up. You know, he's 15. By the time he's 18, if he has 10 solid clients a week, that's good money for the year.
Exactly. And when I was speaking with Sean Yadimako, I had him on.
Yeah.
And he was, I was asking him, can you make a living? Because, I mean, he's like 21 or 22, and he's traveling all over in these competitions. He goes, yeah, you can make a living. I mean, and speaking just like you, seminars, one-on-ones, instructional videos and stuff like that. I mean, this kid, I mean, the game, I mean, these guys learn this stuff so quick. I mean, imagine, I mean, he's got a full plate already. But I'm seeing dollar signs. I want to mock at this kid already. I mean, come on, it's already in Dad's head. He's already knows what's going on. But as far as you, Pat, I mean, what's your goals as far as long-time goals in this game? Like, what do you want to do? Your dad's an instructor and stuff like that. You're starting a lot younger than him. By the time you're even like in your 20s, you're going to be, God, you could be the next, Ryan or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy what can come out of you. What is your long-time goals?
Definitely like teaching in 10th Planet. I'm already teaching the kids like classes like with Dylan. I'm like a co-instructor. So definitely like teaching like classes, not full-time, but like maybe like once or twice a week in the gym, and definitely just like competing a lot for like money in professional tournaments, like who's number one, flow grappling, IBJJF, of course ADCC, like winning ADCC trials would be like a big time for me, like what Cole from Art of Jiu-Jitsu is doing. He's only 6, he just turned 17, he just won ADCC trials. So definitely just like being in those top people in jiu-jitsu like him.
Now, as far as like flow combat, flow grappling, I'm sorry, have you been on shows or anything like that? That eyes like that have been on you?
Yeah, I've been on flow grappling and like Rise Invitational and UFC Fight Pass. Emerald City.
Zapatero.
Yeah, Zapatero from Star Lord, and yeah, just like these big. I've already been on like Flow, UFC.
All right, so the eyes are all over this kid. What are they waiting for, Chris, out of this kid? Like, what are we waiting for out of him for this kid to explode?
This is the issue, that you reach out to a black belt, and you have to try to convince him that a 15-year-old blue belt's a worthy opponent. You know, so in the last month he's beat, I don't know, 5 brown and black belts. It's really hard to convince a black belt, hey, man, take a chance. Like, this could be a big win for you, because if he wins, he beat a blue belt. If he loses, he lost to a 15-year-old. So that's when those money situations come into, hey, would you do it for $500 if you put up $500 each?
Yeah.
Or we got to enter them into brackets where they have no choice,
Exactly. Do you, of course, God, I'd put $500 on him right now. Like, if you throw down in the, against that, you know what I mean? It's like, there's got to be.
he gets mad when I try to make bets for his super fights.
Like, oh, really? Like, go to the side? Like.
No, I put on Instagram. As soon as they post this match, I say, who wants to put up $500?
Is that Pat? Do you are you homeschool, or do you get to go to school at all?
I go to school 5 days a week, public school.
All right. I mean, it must be like the part of the sea when you walk down the corridor. I mean, Jiu-Jitsu is a respectful. I mean, you're not going to throw yourself around. I know how, but my God, if I was your age and I was like had what you had and can do what you do, my chest would be just like people would be bouncing off the lockers because I couldn't fit in that fucking thing. What's it like just to, be where you are and just be a kid?
I'm very like quiet during school and just away from people. I don't really like. I'm not really that social when it comes to school wise. I'm just like, let me just get this over with so I can go to training. Yeah, like no one really does. I don't really like try to explain to people what I do on the outside. I just let it be. Like I just tell them I do wrestling, and it just like I just go through the halls like with my headphones in and just try to like block at everyone. They're just distractions for me.
Yeah, you have a mission, bro. It's to be best, the best in the world at 16, or you will be by the time you get there, my man. As far as training time, how much time you put in? I mean, you talked about you train, you teach the kids and do the. When are you're there from after school till dad drives you home at night? What's the training schedule for you?
I'm probably there like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday through Friday. I'm usually there from like 4:30 to 4:30, like close to 5 to like 9ish. So like 4 hours a day.
4 hours a day. Well, you're working too there too. I mean,
yeah, it's not all training, teaching, drilling, rolling. Like we have we all align our schedules with the instructors, So we all have the same days that we go hard, the same days that we drill, and the same days that we recover. So that on my recovery day, I don't have to worry about a hard round with the black belt. We have the same recovery day, same hard session, so we can all be the best for each other on those hard days.
Excellent. I'm gonna get back to this Instagram real quick. Let me get to your gym Instagram here, your camp. I just want to flash through some stuff there. But Chris, you have an event coming again.
January 22nd.
Yeah, dude. Let me get to your kid. They don't have a poster there, but I'm going to flash the poster there. I just want to get to a couple of things. I'm going to show you. There was a cool video you guys put up about being open and being, I guess, on, how long has 10th Planet Long Island been in operation?
Well, as 10th Planet, about 3 to 4 years. It was under another name before, but officially 10th Planet, like 4 years.
Excellent, my man. And you've been there, God.
Basically 3 years.
See, this is cool. I mean, Chris, you put instructional video on Instagram too, like some like little tidbits.
Yeah, I try to do like once a week or once every couple of weeks, like Thursday, Technique Thursday. I just do like a Instagram, and they could drop any technique they want to learn about, except fly traps and what's the other one? Fly trap and
buggy chokes.
Buggy chokes. Those are not allowed. I mean, except not from me at least. But any other technique except berimbolo, I'll show on my Instagram. Just like a simple breakdown, like a 1 minute clip.
Now, why don't you show them other locks, or are they too rare and like they're secret weapons? Like, what's up?
So a buggy choke and a fly trap both happen from bottom side control. So I tell everyone, step one of those moves is to have your guard passed. I don't let my guard get passed.
Awesome. All right. So, all right. We're not even going there, you motherfuckers. Die if they get there. Die if you get there. So, Chris, before I get to that poster about your next show, because I want to give them a shout out too. You guys hit basically, opposite moves, but the same moves at that last Enigma tournament, right? Inside heel hook and outside heel hook. Was that like a planned thing? Because Pat went first, I do believe.
Yeah.
And he got a quick sub against a dude that was in the same tournament you were for the RCS. Like 3 weeks earlier when you had that.
Before.
Yeah, a week before that guy was like knee riding everyone in the tournament. It was like he was on your guys. I don't remember the other dude. You have a bag of donuts guy and a bigger guy, and he was getting his
the bigger guy's Dominator.
The Dominator was getting his fucking cheeks ridden with the guy's kneecap. I was like, Look, but he was, I mean, the Dominator, I have to say, that he's a scrappy motherfucker. That guy is he submitted bag of donuts. It was like fucking this guy. And then he lasted with the knee ride guy that was pissing me. I mean, the guy was so calm. It just felt like he was like fucking, just knee riding everyone. It was bizarre. And then I'm like, your son goes against him the next day, a week later. And he almost tears the guy's, not almost. I mean, it was the guy knew. Fuck that, I ain't letting the same thing happen to me. Happened the week before. And my God, he submits the guy in like friggin' 2 seconds. Chris, what's going through your head? Pressure. My son just submitted this guy. I got Zach coming in, who's no slouch. He's been
not at all.
He's been a lot.
Actually, at the last Enigma, I had no idea who Zach was, and then he won the last Enigma and OT. And I just went up to him. I said, hey, man, that was a great match. You should come down and train sometime. And then 2-3 weeks later, I find out that's who I'm fighting. So that was kind of weird, like having to fight someone that I feel friendly with. But in terms of the submissions, like I said, when I started learning leg locks, the outside heel hook was the one that was like Gary Tonin, Gordon Ryan, and Eddie Cummings were all using so efficiently. That's what most people were learning off the bat. So I learned an outside heel hook my first day in training. Now, Pat, he started as 7 years old. By the time he started learning leg locks and applying them, there were so many more systems, like intricate systems. So he has more of a new school jiu-jitsu leg lock game with the 50-50 and the backside stuff. And I like my old school stuff, regular outside heel hooks and honey hole, double trouble, like that kind of stuff. So
I love those names. Like it just fucking.
We basically both finished the same way we like to roll at the gym. Like those are our entries and our bread and butter stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, Chris, let's get to this. Let me just throw this poster up here. Do you know anything about Mason Fowler, who you're going to be rolling against? I think he was at the last RCS tournament that Pat that you rolled in, because I remember I had to announce him on. We did like a 10-second clip, like, hey, joining us in the audience is such and such, and I think he was there that day. So he was at least present. You don't know anything about him, huh?
No, I know. He's been doing so I learned about him on Submission Underground. He beat Craig Jones twice.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a stud. And then I watched him live win trials in Jersey a month ago. He's a stud.
Well, no, that ain't the same guy that was at that fucking time. I apologize then, my guy. No, it can't be the same guy because, I mean, where's he from?
He's from Coyoteera in San Diego.
Oh, so they flying him in to roll with you, or is he like
flying him in for pop?
Oh my Lord, brother! Look at you! Fucking hey, who wants to throw $500 on this fucking match? No shit, Pop. Congratulations, man. They're flying someone in special with you, man. So, I mean, how do you prepare? Like, what goes? I mean, all right. I talk over everyone. I just can't shut up. When I talk to Yachty, I mean, he's in competition all the time. He studies the hell out of his his competition. Is that something you study the hell out of him? Like, what goes on in your mind as far as when you're going against someone like this and you got a lot of time to work on it?
So I give my best A game, right? I don't plan for their A game, right? But if there's something that they're like, if you could tell me 9 out of 10 times he's going to pull guard into reverse Del Hiva, obviously I want to know that. But I don't want to go into the match thinking, okay, X, Y, Z is going to happen because I don't want to be thinking when I do the match, But I had Pat. This kid's like a nerd with jiu-jitsu. He has notes on everybody. So he gave me like a bunch of notes about Mason's matches. But my success has come just rolling the way I roll at the gym. So as the fight gets closer, 6 weeks out, we'll have like an official fight camp schedule. We'll have drilling sessions, rolling sessions. So I'm trying to make my game the best it can be before January 22nd. But I'm going to keep in mind what his, go-tos are and how can I defend them. it's kind of interesting watching him. We have a lot of similar things. He uses some rubber guard. He likes to go like legs off rubber guard like that. He likes the body lock pass. He likes butterfly. So it's going to be really fun because we both have similar games. So we should know how to defend each other's stuff. And the great thing about RCS and Enigma as well, they're giving us 15 minutes and OT. So like in the case that it goes 3 overtimes, we'll be fighting 21 minutes. So it's going to be pretty definitive at the end, like who's the winner, you know? He comes from he excels in a rule set. Like right now he's the Shug champion, absolute, but they have a 5-minute regulation with 3 rounds of OT. So you actually spend more time in OT than regulation. 15 minutes, you know, that gives plenty of time to stand, hand fight, get into some submission attempts. You don't have to worry about being stuck on bottom too long. You have plenty of time to recover. The top guy can't sit there and stall because, like, if I pass his guard or vice versa, I can't just hold him for 15 minutes till OT. We got fans there. We got to put on a show, you know?
Exactly.
So, but I really don't study my opponents. The only when I fought Connor, the only change I made was not to pull guard because it was combat. Other than that, I just did my regular jiu-jitsu. Like, I want to try my best jiu-jitsu against his best jiu-jitsu.
We don't even want to go to that combat thing, man. That was that's a whole nother podcast, that shit right there, man. Because that was nuts, that thing. Pat, my friend, are you gonna try to get on this the same event, or are you just there?
They got me a match, thankfully, after nice. Like 100 times.
How much you have to put up?
He's actually fighting a Kyotera brown belt, so it'll be from the same school as Mason.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that usually happens. They usually, come in. Hey, we're going there. Let's get a couple of guys.
We got like almost 10 guys on coming.
Oh, awesome! I got it. You guys always come in colorful, looking great in there. Dylan killing it. I mean, that guy's going. You guys are submitting people like way too quick. Listen, I'm over there trying to interview somebody, and you guys are like you're off the mat in like 2 minutes. I'm like missing shit. I'm like, Tom DeBlas, I was interviewing guy. It's like once in a lifetime I'm going to get to talk to that guy and get him on camera. And then you're over there submitting fucking, Zach in like 2. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, wait a minute. It was Dylan because I didn't get to interview Dylan. He submitted him too quick, so I was like in the middle with Tom, and that's when Christos interviewed him. He got the best interview of the friggin' day because I think wasn't Dylan rapping or something. I don't know what the figure was. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, something funny like that.
I missed it. So, with that said, a couple more things, and I'll let you go. It's school in the morning and everything. Chris, Enigma's coming back. God, I don't know if it's the same month. What is it?
It's the 14th. It's a week before RCS.
All right, so that's not happening this time around.
If Christos gives me a big name, I'll make the trip.
Okay, because when you and I interviewed after, I was like, what's next for you? And you kind of look back at him, and you're 3-0. You got a combat jiu-jitsu win in there too. You got a win against Connor, 2 wins against Connor, who hadn't lost a jiu-jitsu match in years, and then you just submitted Zach in no time. Like what's being spoken about as far as the week before? So I haven't spoke to Christos yet. In the past, we've talked about an 85 shot, which Melanson got a sick little bite on PJ's heel last time. So that made my antennas go up. That would be a sick challenge. But I'm 196, so I can go down to 85. I can also go up to 205. And Calvin Tacey's a fucking beast. That's another sick matchup. So, whatever. Maybe we have to do a poll and see what people would rather see. There's options, bro, and I'll be in that poll. I'll help support that poll and throw it out there, my friend. Calvin, I've interviewed, like you said, to get back at that, when you guys enter a room, now when you enter a room in New England, everyone's like, fuck these guys, you know what I mean? Calvin, my God, after he like that first day, he was like submitting like people with like.
He broke Placido's foot.
Yeah, but he was like suffocating like a couple of people before that even happened. It was like, oh my God, who is this guy that just came in alone? He was just with his girlfriend or wife. That was it. He just comes in and like quiet all day and just starts beating everyone up. He wins $1,000 fucking.
I didn't realize how big he was till this last event. I only knew him from Instagram, and I saw him in person. I'm like, whoa. This is a big boy.
Yeah, so I mean that's a great matchup right there. That was a great match too. He fought that the dude that it was a rubber match. He was in that crucifix like for the. I was like,
I was surprised.
What's going? And then when I interviewed, it was funny. He goes like, I'm like, he goes, well, I knew he was gonna do it because he's got a ton of videos on it. It's like, well, Jesus, thank God you watched him. But that was fabulous, man. I mean, just that Enigma tournament is like for me, it's like me. It's got the best of the best there. You know what I mean? So to me, I see big names. I see guys that have just been at it, guys and women that are just killers out there and are going to be making marks, you know, all over the world someday. Or if not, they're not doing it now, man. It's just a treat for me to see that.
Yeah, Christos treats us so well when we go there, and the vibe there is great. Like, I love going there. So, like, I'm always going to support that tournament, and whatever Christos decides, like, in terms of my matches, I'm always interested, you know? But because this one's the week before RCS, you know, if I have to skip this one and do the next one, that's fine too. But I'm so appreciative of Christos, and he really helped us get a lot of exposure. Like, he has good cameramen. The website's awesome, you know. The commentary's great. So, like, it's always worth the trip up there, you know?
Definitely. And that's definitely a big part of the game. I mean, you guys and women put a lot into it, a lot of sacrifice. And for him to kind of, you know, shout it out there and give you exposure to, you know, people that haven't seen you before. I mean, it's great. I mean, you guys got a record with Enigma now, which is cool. I mean, he's keeping them stats and stuff like that, keeping belts, keeping rankings or wherever you are. So it's only going to grow from there. It's definitely going to grow from there. I love being a part of it. Whatever he needs me to do, I'm definitely there. I love talking to you guys and women after, man, because I'm just like, you guys are like
that's something new. Like, most events, maybe they'll interview the main event, but you guys do all the matches. And the first time I didn't realize that we were gonna get interviewed. So now I kind of think of like a little bit what to say because I don't want to go too much off the cuff.
No, but that's awesome, and that's why I'm here to help people along. I mean, you got your son there. I mean, he's got to get used to talking in front of the camera and stuff like that. He's probably already is now, but when he's got a goof like me, you know, interviewing a man, that kid's ready for anything after that. You know what I mean? So last thing I'll let you do is, guys, is give any shout outs, any thank yous, anything you want to send out there, where you're going to be next as far as you, Pat, what you know, your next tournament or anything like that. And then I'll let you get out of here, man. It's Christmas time. You guys, you know, you got to do your thing. So let it shout.
Well, first of all, my sponsors, Rubber Bones, Rash Guards, and Best Life Ever Skateboards, super supportive, and Canambulance for recovery.
Nice.
Those guys train with us, support us, and like, you know, I'm not used to having sponsors that I get to be in the training room every day with, so that's awesome. Obviously, if you're listening to this and you don't follow Tempe Long Island on Instagram, give us a follow. Follow my instructor, Holistic Jiu Jitsu, Steve Caston. He's coming out with BJJ Fanatics early next year. It's going to be something new, that a new approach to lining up jiu-jitsu with holistic health that no one's put out yet, so that's going to be awesome. And catch me at RCS January 22nd. If you can't be there by the pay-per-view, mention me in the comments, let RCS know that you're watching. And yeah, thank you for having us on.
Oh, don't worry. Go ahead there, Pat.
Same thing, my sponsors, Rubber Bones, and then RCS, and I'm running my own tournament in January 15th, so a couple days before RCS. It's called Tap Tournament, so follow that on IG at Tap BJJ Media. It's videography, photography, clothing, and tournament. And I'll be running that, and I'll be at RCS and watch me break some limbs, you know.
Excellent. Another young entrepreneur in the making right there, man. I mean, Christos is what, 19, 20 years old? He's running his own promotion. I mean, dude, you got the world by the gonads, man. Take it home with you, bro. Just like you take them legs, man. Last thing, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Last thing, you, Chris, man, you got the most H's in your last name that I've ever seen in my life. My God, you have 4 H's in your whole name. Like I think of the most bizarre things, but I'm spelling it out today, trying to like say it correctly, and I'm like, this dude's got fucking 3 H's in his last name, man. So, and it's the easiest name to say too, Shahgholi.
Yep, there you go.
All right, my man. Any social media besides I have your Instagrams? Anything else you use?
That's about it. Yeah.
That's all.
Instagram.
Awesome, man. I'll follow you all, and dude, let's definitely talk. I'll see you at RCS anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and then we could chat again, get an interview after. I'll see your son, and we'll
try to get studio. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to me. We'll get it going. All right, my guys. Hey, don't leave yet. I'm gonna shut the show down and say bye to you off to the side. So just stay there for 1 sec. All right. Oh, with that said, the Room Podcast. We will be back next Wednesday night with Sean Schubert, who just won at Lion Fight last Friday night with a fucking incredible Ric Flair moments in Muay Thai. It was fucking nuts. The guy was throwing people around the ring. It was nuts. All right. Thanks, guys, but stay there. We out.